Hey guys, today we're coming to you from a place that I can't say I remember.
Run memory override.
Let's get into it.
What is up, my beautiful nerds? Welcome back to Till the End of the Line podcast. I'm your boy Wanji here with
Kikati.
That's right. And today we are going to be talking about Skeleton Crew episodes 3 and 4. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. I'm liking the series so far. It's fun.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah.
Super, family friendly.
Yeah.
Not that Star Wars ever wasn't, but it's just, I don't know, like my kids are enjoying it.
No, I would say it's more kid friendly than anything. It is more family, aimed towards more family genre, for sure. But yeah, like I said, I'm enjoying it. I think it's a good show for the kids and something to watch, with the family.
Yeah.
But before we get into both of those episodes, we have a bunch of nerd news for you guys today. So, first thing up, we have Denzel Washington will play a villain in Black Panther 3.
That's awesome.
Hell
and
yeah.
I really think he took the role because of the tribute that Chadwick had given to him.
Oh, that was so beautiful, dude. That was such a... If you guys haven't seen that, you guys need to see that.
There's no way he paved the road for any African-American actor or actress to just thrive in the industry,
Yeah, for what he did in it, yeah.
Yeah, and... I loved him in Gladiator. He plays a great villain there.
Yeah, I thought he did well in Gladiator.
I can't see him failing when it comes to this Marvel project for whatever villain he's playing.
Absolutely not.
I like to dig and see what he can play, who he can play. I haven't even thought about
what
it
character,
right? But I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to that. Especially with what they did with Wakanda Forever. We see that Letitia Wright can carry that franchise on to the future, so I'm excited to see that for sure. What we got next?
So I was excited for this one because I just finished watching, not just, but they had released Cobra Kai, one of the first part of the last season, and I was like, oh man, I wonder if everyone was saying that they're gonna tease Jackie Chan in the finale
in Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
no.
So there was going to be a relationship there, maybe, or tease to this show.
Oh, to this movie. Okay.
So it didn't happen yet, but we still have the second half to happen, so it could still happen. We'll see what happens. But yeah. So the Karate Kid Legends trailer dropped, and it looks dope as fuck.
So good.
And
so good. And we were right in our theory that it looks like Jackie Chan had a relationship with Mr. Miyagi.
Yes.
We'll find out what that relationship actually was, when you see the movie. But, or no, he says it in the trailer that, oh, no, he said what Ralph Macchio was to Mr. Miyagi, this new kid is to Jackie Chan.
But by default, I think he would have to have known Mr. Miyagi, and Mr. Miyagi must have
I would say he was, at the minimum, he was a student of his, for sure. Wow. But if you're searching for him, there's something more special there. There's a deeper relationship there for sure. Yeah. Like I said, I think he was
stepbrothers.
No, I think he was just one. Mr. Miyagi was his mentor at one point before Ralph Macchio was.
Yeah,
in his earlier years.
Jackie Chan is older, but not that old to be stepbrothers with.
Right, Mr. Miyagi's a lot older. He's got at least 20 years on him, probably.
Fair point.
So be on the lookout for that. We are covering the hell out of that movie when it comes out.
Hell yeah,
for sure.
And I'd love to give maybe season recaps of each of the Cobra Kais to kind of in preparation for this. See if it ties in.
Do you think we'll do that if it does tie in. If not, we'll just probably talk about it.
I would even love to cover the Jaden Karate Kid and all of the other Ralph Macchio's Karate Kids too.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Just to dive into some older footage and just to see things how they're done differently and how kung fu films are. I think back in the day they were so action packed that they lacked some story.
They were fight focused for sure.
Right, and now you can get just with how talented some of these people are to produce things like this. It's awesome. They're giving Cobra Kai gives some amazing television action, nonetheless, but it's great story still.
Nice.
And I think that we're we're in for a nice treat with the Karate Kid Legends.
For sure. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
So up next.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a sore subject for who over there. But Craven did only $30 million globally, guys. That's not just domestic. That's entire world on a $110 million budget film. So suffice to say, the Villainverse is dead.
Yeah, and Sony hasn't announced that like the week of it being released. Like, so that Monday, I think, or Monday or Tuesday, they had released that Sony was not going to continue the Villainverse.
They were probably...
right before Craven dropped.
They were probably planning on Craven being the last one.
Yeah. Or they knew Craven was shit. So
I don't think that. I just think that they were done with that.
I just think you don't put out that low quality of a movie without knowing it's going to flop. And they're like, let's just get it out.
We're done, yeah.
Let's just rip the Band-Aid off.
Well, that was one of the movies that... kept getting postponed and kept having delays with it. Mm-hmm. Whether that affected the film or not, we don't know.
I'm sure it did. But on top of that, they had to release it because of that 2.5 year mark.
Yeah. You're saying that's a huge crutch for them, honestly. But with that, rumors of selling back
to Marvel,
Spider-Man verse.
Yeah.
Back to
the property
Marvel.
of Spider-Man, the IP of Spider-Man.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Which I'm excited for. And I was telling you before that I think if that happens, they can then redo some of these characters. They can introduce Craven and do it better. Keep ATJ.
And with them wrapping up the whole fucking multiverse bullshit, you can pluck and pick and pull your villains you want. William Dafoe can still be Green Goblin.
Yeah.
I think he's older, but then it gives us a chance to introduce Harry and a real Hobgoblin. You know what I mean? I think Aaron Taylor Johnson him and Russell Crowe's performances were the only things that kept me involved with this movie. I wouldn't even say intrigued or anything else outside of that. I watched it because they're great acters.
They gave a good performance in the movie.
Agreed.
Okay.
Everybody else, not so much.
All right. Well, that's unfortunate. But we are going to be giving you guys a Craven review, whether he likes it or not.
No, we are.
But so next thing we have is the Superman trailer. Hell yeah!
Finally excited for
this
DC.
thing. Superman. Is it also called Legends?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. No,
it is.
Is it called?
It's Superman Legend. I want to say Legacy. Superman Legacy.
Like, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah. Superman Legacy trailer just dropped.
Actually, it's just called Superman.
Did he change it? Because it started off as Legacy. I know that for sure.
Wikipedia and IMDb just says Superman.
Oh. Well, James Gunn, when he first started, even on the script, says Superman Legacy. Well, that trailer dropped, and we got a lot of good... like not Easter eggs, but just clips of who's in it.
Yeah.
Bunch of
Terrific, Guy Gardner as a Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's that morphing guy? I forget what his name is.
Yeah.
Hawk Girl.
Oh, Element Man or something like that.
Something like that.
But yeah, so we see a lot of good clips in that movie. Yeah. So that we are excited as hell for that film.
Yes, agreed.
And that's gonna start the James Gunn universe as far as DC goes.
The new DCU.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. Also, many projects just wrapped. Some of those projects are Stranger Things. The final season just finished wrapping, and that one. It looks like we're going to be in for it, man, because the little, like, farewell speeches that a lot of the cast gave were just heart-wrenching, dude.
Yeah.
One Piece just finished season 2, the Netflix, the live action. And then Happy Gilmore 2 just finished wrapping.
I fucking love me an Adam Sandler.
Yes, man, we are excited for that. As I said before, Happy Gilmore is my favorite Adam Sandler movie. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to cover that film.
It's hard to choose one for me.
Is it really?
I don't know. I like so many.
He gives a lot of good films.
Yeah.
There are a
Big
lot of goofy.
Daddy, fucking Mr. Deeds, like
Waterboy. Yeah.
There's so many good ones.
There's a lot, but Happy Gilmore does it for me every single time.
I will never not watch Happy Gilmore. Like, if it's on, or even if I don't have anything to watch, I'm like, let's put on Happy Gilmore. Yeah. Like, who doesn't want to watch an Adam Sandler movie? You know?
I like Waterboy too because it's a sports movie at the same time. So it's like Adam Sandler's comedy with sports is a good mix.
Longest Yard.
Longest Yard was a good one. That was a really
there's so many good movies.
Yeah.
But even with that, like, we have an action-packed year coming up of just if we just stick to Marvel alone, you know,
which we won't. But
right. But so we got What If in tomorrow
coming up soon. Yeah.
And then January 25th, the Amazing Spider-Man animated series. Valentine's Day, Captain America: Brave New World. March 4th, Daredevil: Born Again.
Yes.
May 2nd, Thunderbolts. With the asterisk, whatever the fuck that means.
I think it's because they don't want that to be their name. They're going to change it.
Dark Avengers.
But we actually have a special treat for you guys coming with Daredevil. We'll announce that later, but go ahead.
Ironheart, June 24th. And then a month later, Fantastic Four, which is, I think, the most excited. The project I'm most excited for.
Okay.
Marvel Zombies, October 3rd. Eyes of Wakanda, August 6th. And then wrapping up the new year, or at the end of the year, in December, Wonder Man. So a lot of just Marvel alone.
Now, do we know, is Wonder Man a special presentation?
I think it's a show.
It's a show.
I thought. I don't remember no more.
Oh, yeah, we did kind of see that, huh?
Because
there was a trailer, right? It was a trailer for it. But anyway. But yeah, so that is what we got next year coming up for you guys. So keep on the lookout for those projects. But also make sure to like and subscribe and click that notification bell to keep up with the latest in nerd news. Glasses off. Oh, no. Okay. So what we had today for you guys, episode 3 of Skeleton Crew. I gotta get
just to confirm. It is a series.
It is a show. Okay, so Wonder Man is a show. Cool.
Correct.
All right.
But if this wants to ever load,
episode 3.
Episode 3. Very interesting as a astrogation problem.
Yes.
So a mysterious stranger offers to help our young crew of heroes.
Yes.
And as you see at the end of episode 2, Jod uses the Force to make the keys come. I had said this when we covered it. I'm like, why the fuck didn't you just use the Force and escape already? Well, it opens with them.
I have a reason why I think that.
Well, he explains why. Because he didn't have the fucking ship, which makes sense. But,
right, yeah.
Either way, so the episode opens up with the parents being calm and just kind of sitting and they look calm, but they're just, the father is the one that looks the calmest of Wim, and he kind of feel like there's more to his story that we don't know about.
Okay.
He might be involved in some sus stuff, but we'll see. Nothing like inappropriate. I just mean like sus is within the.
He's got an adult film industry on the side and stuff.
Oh no! Imagine that's why Ed is fucking just
hidden because that's his headquarters. Okay.
Oh my god! But the other parents seem to be like freaking out, super worried. What was the
rightfully so
Chancellor? No, not Chancellor. What's the mom's name? Fern's mom.
Her name,
or her title. She's like
the superintendent something.
Yeah, but she's some like figure of power or whatever.
The superior chancellor or something.
I don't know what the hell her name was. Anyways, well she seems to like be super worried, and she's like, every time I ran off, like the droids found them. Like,
no, I didn't see her as worried. She was the one trying to calm everyone down because she felt like she knew what was gonna happen. She was like, like you said, every time I ran off, the droids found me and brought me back. Yeah. She goes, the droids are out there right now. They're gonna find them and bring them back home.
That's true. She was trying to be reassuring.
Yeah.
Okay, fair point. But kind of leads or explains why Fern's the way she is. Because her mother was the same way.
Yeah.
She was a kid.
Yeah.
And you don't become a person in charge without being that go-getter, this mischief of some sorts, like, eager to go out there and to see what the world is all about.
Mischievous, I think is the word you're
and then, so one of the parents of KB is like, we can't sense him or sense her. Like her something got turned off or whatever.
Yeah, because apparently she has some medical issue, right?
Is that how you took it?
That's what they said. They said she has a medical thing and she needs her medicine. You didn't catch that?
I didn't catch that.
Yeah. That's what they were saying. That she has a medical, that they can't sense that. It must be off or something. And they're like, she needs her medicine. And I think they were like going on about something like asthma related.
I didn't catch that part.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then the droids show up and they tell them that the kids left in a starship and that the supervisor would reach out to... they ask if the supervisor can reach out to the Republic, but they can't because they left the barrier.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, fuck the barrier. Like, go
yeah,
get my kids,
yeah.
You know? And again, Wim's dad is just sitting there like...
Yeah. Taking everything in.
Yeah, just like no facial expression. He looks pissed off, but it's just like... I don't know. He seems weird. He seems sus.
Mm-hmm.
So who the fuck's the supervisor? We don't know who the supervisor is at all.
Yeah. I'm seeing it more as like a mayor to the place than anything.
But who is this guy pulling the strings?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Interesting.
I really want to find out why Atten is hidden. I'm really eager to find out where that story
do you really think
goes.
it's gold?
I don't know if it has anything to do with treasure. I feel like that's what they're hinting at, but I don't think that's the case. I think that's what everybody thinks, and that's what they want people to think, that it's, oh, you got to protect the treasure, and it's the great work. The great work is what's getting me.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is that about? That's got to be something. But I think, I don't know, man. They're up to something there. They're up to something for sure.
Agreed.
And I can't wait to find out what that is. We'll dive more into
that in episode 4 because we find out there's more areas just like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids and Jod escape. Which we don't know is his name is Jod yet. He doesn't say it, but later in this episode.
Yeah.
So the kid thinks he's the Jedi, but he never really confirms that he is.
He technically never says Jedi.
Right. And then Jod ends up using the Force again. Then the kids are arguing. Fern and KB don't believe he's a Jedi at all.
Yeah, they think it's tricks and stuff. Yeah.
Neil and Wim are like, he's a Jedi, you know.
Because he uses it to mind control the little pilot guy, right?
Yeah. But he also uses it to sense that someone's coming down the hallway.
Oh, right.
And then as they're standing there, he walks off, he knocks somebody out, and then throws them on the ground. All while Wim is like, you know, Jedis are keeper of the peace, and and he beats the shit out of some guy, throws him on the ground. You know? That was pretty funny. And then he takes the blaster, puts it in his pocket, and then he's like, all right, cool, come on, guys. And then KB is like, wait, no.
They cross the hall, and then she goes, no, they'll see me. And then he makes a noise.
Oh, no. I'm talking about when... So at first, before he takes off and beats the guy and takes the blaster, he comes back into the hallway. And then he's like, oh, wait. KB is like, oh, wait. Everyone, like... And so they all hide again as if she had sensed...
Oh, you're talking about that part. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Okay.
So then they're like, oh, KB has the Force too now? But I feel like she just has a connection to tracking droids. So it's not really the Force, I don't think.
Well, I think it's her we'll call them glasses, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, her visors or something, whatever.
Yeah, her visor thing. I think it could sense any, like, electronics and circuitry and stuff like that. Correct. So I think that's why she senses that coming.
Yeah.
Kind of like how, the way I see it is like when you open up your Wi-Fi on your phone and you see networks pop up. I feel like that's what it is for her. She sees like droid, you know, like an SM droid appear, you know, in network and stuff like that. I think that's how it is.
Do you think that's what she sees in her visor too?
Yeah, I think she sees like, you know, a droid near or blah 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 on network or whatever. Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah.
So they let the droid, it floats by, and they sneak by, like you said, and then that's when Jod does the whole.
He makes a sound in the distance. Yeah.
Makes them walk away. But I think that was first. Then they get to, and then the whole.
No, you're right. It happened in that order with the droid going by.
So then they get to this point in the hallway. No, it happened first. The whole noise thing is how they get down, and then that's when he senses someone's around the corner. Then he
you're right. Yeah.
Because then from there once the droid floats by, then he stands in the middle and he goes, "We can go this way. There's a lot of people, and then we can go this way, and there's nobody." And Fern's like, "Let's go this way where there's nobody." And he's like, "Well, it might be easier to sneak by and through all the people.
It's easier to hide in the crowd, yeah."
Which he's not wrong.
Yeah,
but
dude,
Jesus
that's like
Christ,
the eighth
I'm so
yawn.
sorry.
That's like the eighth yawn in 2 minutes.
I need something to wake me up. But anyways, so they start going through the crowd, and they get through the crowd super fucking easy.
Yeah.
And then they get into the spaceship. They get there, and Wim's like nervous. He's like, "Well, our ship is a little." And then Fern's like, "He's trying to tell you that our ship is a piece of shit," And then he looks up, and it has like a smell cloud around it. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Or like a dirt cloud of some sort, like just floating around. How dirty and dingy that.
Kind of like the way Charlie Brown, the kid with the blanket. Yeah.
So he's like, that's your ship? He's like, all right, I guess.
Yeah.
And at this point, he's like, I need to get the fuck off.
Right.
I need to get out of here. And then when they get on, all the kids convince him to say that, like, oh, well, what about SM-33? We can't leave him. He's like, it's just a droid. And Fern's like, I thought Jedis never leave a man behind. He's like,
He goes, that's not a thing.
Yeah, it's not a thing that Jedi say.
And I never said I was a Jedi.
No, he doesn't say that then. He doesn't say that he's not a Jedi then.
Yeah, he goes, technically I never said I was.
Later on when they question him. That's when they're at...
I thought that was the same conversation.
Nope.
Oh.
Total different.
Okay.
That's when they're at...
he does say that's not a thing that the Jedi say.
He does say that,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
It's not a thing that Jedi say.
Yeah.
That conversation you're talking about when he says, I never technically said that, is when SM-33 is on the bridge to get into their ship on the moon, where the owl person's at.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Okay. Yeah, I get it now. Okay.
And so they're like, oh, well, we need the droid. He knows how to fly the ship. He knows how to repair the ship. He's like, don't ever depend on a droid. They'll always let you down. Which might be how he got in prison. He had a droid that he used to trust and work for him, and maybe...
No, we know how he got in prison.
Right, but, maybe he has a prior history with droids, and that's why he doesn't trust them.
I think he just doesn't like them. He's
Yeah, it's like Obi. Yeah. Obi doesn't really trust droids. You know what I mean? But Anakin does. He's fond of
R2 is
them.
the only one.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's because, R2...
Been there
fucking
from
G.
Yeah, hell yeah.
R2
day
is
one.
G. There's nothing else like R2.
He's a ride or die. Hell yeah.
So whatever. So Jod's like, fucking fine. I'll go get the damn thing. And then he's like, don't touch anything though. He's like, I don't want you to blast off and leave me behind or something like that. And as soon as he gets out the fucking the screen, Fern goes, I think we should blast off and leave me behind.
Fucking Fern is just like, yeah, we're out.
Yeah. And then she's like, no, women and Neo are like, he's a Jedi, da da da. He made the keys float.
Yeah.
She's like, there's so many different ways you can make something float.
If she starts
propulsors, whatever other
magnets, strings.
She's like, and string. He's like, string. She's like, yeah, like real thin string.
Yeah.
Like, there's ways to make things float.
Yeah.
To make it look like it was real. So she's in like total denial. She's like, no, this guy's not a fucking Jedi.
Like, what does he think he had already the keys? Number one, let's say string. How the fuck did he connect the string to the keys?
Right.
Did you see him pulling? No, he just went.
Yeah, I mean, Fern, I think he has to have some sort of force ability.
He's force sensitive, 1,000%.
Right,
yeah.
But he's not a Jedi. I don't think he ever was a Jedi.
Yeah.
Maybe
he would have a lightsaber with him, I think.
Possibly. Maybe he...
Maybe what?
I'm trying to think of the best way to explain. It's like maybe he was considered, and they found him as a youngling, but he just walked away from the order. You know what I mean? Maybe that's why he has some type of sensibility to control it, because he learned some of it. Maybe.
I mean, I think there are plenty of people. Star Wars never really dives into it too much, but I think there's plenty of people out there that are force sensitive that use the force that aren't Jedi.
Not to move things.
That's what I'm saying. I think there is force sensitive people out there. Case in point, the kid in on that planet with the gambling spot, in the sequels where he pulled the broom to him and he started sweeping.
I don't remember this part.
He's the kid who the girl gives the ring to, the rebel ring.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of the ones that they're playing, and he's describing what happened with Kylo and Luke when they're on that planet with like the red sand and salt.
Oh,
remember the little kid when they're showing that stuff, and then he's like, "Get back to work," and then he goes,
okay.
and he pulls the broom to him.
He does. Yeah,
so I think that there's plenty of people using the Force to do things that aren't Jedi. Yeah. So I think Jad is one of those people.
Yeah,
he just uses the Force when needed.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'd be losing it for dumb shit. Like, where's the remote? Oh. Fucking grab the remote. I'm like, we're out of toilet paper. I can grab toilet paper.
Clutch. That'd be clutch, bro.
Or
how many times do you like prepare like a snack and then you put it on the table and then you sit on the couch and you put it too far on the table from you? Like, no. Just fucking whoop.
She'd be using it to like eat and shit. She'd be sitting there and just spoon just like,
Imagine. No, I think that'd get sloppy.
Not if you know how to use the Force. It's just then that's more Harry Potter, I think.
Yeah.
That's more like, cleaning the dishes, or the dishes are cleaning themselves and shit.
Right.
Like, it's like,
right.
But go ahead. What are you saying?
One
of our tangents is always.
like always.
So they don't think he's a Jedi.
Yeah. So Jad takes off. He goes back to the port, and he's going to where essentially they keep like either abandoned or broken droids.
Yeah.
And he goes down there,
starts turning them on one by one to find out what their name is. Right? Yeah.
And then he ends up finding it, starts loading it onto a cart.
Some of the things that they say, some of the droids say are fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Random
we have
stuff.
to save the prince. What? Yeah. He turns them off.
Yeah, he's like, anyways. He just like flips right through. He doesn't even give a shit. But it just shows how much he doesn't care for droids.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that he has a history of a droid maybe screwing him over.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So one of the pirates catches John getting SM-33, and he calls him Captain
Silvo.
Which he's like, oh, you were one of the greatest captains to ever have. Like, wonder why there's more.
He said you were the best captain I've ever had.
Right. I wonder why there isn't more of an allegiance to him.
Right.
Like, why do people like help him out then?
Yeah. Fair point.
So that was my first thought process behind it. And then he's like, well, I'm basically gonna snitch on you. Like, I have to tell.
I have to tell you.
Yeah.
But real quick, I do like when Jad finds SM-33 and he turns them on.
He's like, are you SM-33?
Who wants to know?
Yeah, who's asking or some bullshit.
Yeah, who's asking? And then he's like looking at him, and then the fucking rat pops out.
He's like, oh, that'll do it.
I'll take that as a yes. Click. Turns him off.
Yeah, because Wim is like, oh, when you get him, make sure you don't forget his little
he has a rat in his eye hole. Yeah. So weird.
Wim is... Not Wim, I'm sorry. Neil was the one that said it. Neil's so cute, dude.
Yeah, he's the cutest. He 100% is the heart of the show.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially number 4. In episode 4, when we get into it.
Yeah, man.
Little,
yeah. Go ahead.
Little cutie.
Anyways. So he finds him, and then, he tells him, but then we don't see what happens.
No. So I think there's a reason behind that. So he did something sketch, or maybe he killed him.
Oof, you think it took him that far?
We don't know how bad of a guy this guy is.
Fair point. Yeah, we don't know a lot about Jad. That's 100% true.
So maybe something happened and now he's dead.
So cuts to the ship, right?
Right. So he's like, the kids are talking, and then all of a sudden they see Jad coming in there, like the little ferry thing that like transports them from their ship.
Yeah, he's being shot at.
Yeah, and he lands, gets in there, brings in the droid. He's like, take off. So then
they're like, we don't know how to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So he sits down.
So he sits down, he flips all the switches, gets it ready to roll, and he starts pulling off, and then the fuel line's still connected.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Which Have you ever either drove off or started to with the gas pump still in the car?
I've done that before, yeah.
When did you do this? Do you know how far back it was?
A long time ago.
Because now they have like a safety thing where if you guys ever notice the handle, it's got the little hose and then there's like a connector piece and then the hose that goes into the pump.
Oh yeah.
That piece is made that if you pull it, it just pops off and it's not connected. It disconnects the line.
So that oil or gas system pops.
Yeah. So I was working one day and I saw in my old job and I saw somebody in the thing get in his car and he pulled off and just took that thing away. Boom. And then he started driving. He's like, and then he stopped and then the thing is just in his car connected. So the gas station attendant comes out and he just takes it out. He goes, no, it's no problem. He fucking grabs it, just connects it, boom, and then puts it back on the.
I pulled it and it was still connected and then it just came off. It came out of my.
Oh, it came out of your car?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It was already done pumping.
Right.
So nothing spilled or anything. And I just heard it go, hit the floor, boom, and it slid back a little bit. So I was like, oh, fuck. Huh? No. I got out. I put it back on. Taking out. Imagine? No. Because I had to put my gas cap back on.
Right.
Yeah. So I usually put it because this was my older car. You remember that red little tracker I had?
Yeah.
It didn't have a spot to put the.
I hate that.
You know what I mean?
I
so
fucking hate that.
You get nowhere to put it. You know what I mean?
It either dangles from a little like
the string
or plastic connector piece, or it's got on the door of the gas thing. It's got a little holster.
Groove. Yeah. But that didn't have either. So it was just a loose cap. Like fuck. So I usually put it on top of
the car.
No, on the gas thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, usually there's something.
Oh, so you would have left your gas cap.
Yeah, and then the light would have turned on because you can't drive without a gas cap because the light turns on.
Yeah.
It's like fuck. So
this did not happen to them. They drove off, but that thing would not come out of their ship. It's connected. That's a secure ass gas line or gas pump.
That's crazy.
So it wouldn't come out. So what they start getting shot at, right?
Yeah, and so he's like, okay, I got an idea. So he like turns it around and he goes another way. I think he goes that way because it's like the clearest space for him to hyperjump. There's no other vehicles.
When I saw him doing that, I thought he was going to try to wrap around so that it gets caught, and then whatever he wraps around pulls it out.
Oh, fair point.
That's what I thought he was doing.
No, because he was facing this way, and that's why he turned.
Well, yeah, he was facing them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. Agreed. So I think that's why he turned completely around to face the other way.
Because I don't think he got the idea to hyperjump till later, till he realized he couldn't get it off. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Go ahead.
I saw it as he was like, okay, cool, I'm stuck. I need to get the shit off. The only way to do it is hyperdrive.
Yeah, he was definitely trying to get into clearer space for sure.
Right.
Yeah, it's an open space anyway. Yeah.
And so he does that and still getting shot at, hits the hyperdrive, and the thing disconnects, and then it flies back and hits the port, fucks up everything right in front.
Dude, it just wild hoses all over the place, fucking knocking people out, destroying shit. I was like, God dang. And that thing is a monster of a cable.
Yeah.
It's gigantic. And I was just like, shit. And it's whipping hard, dude, like fast.
Yep. Like when you got to pee really bad and you
God.
flip it out.
Yikes!
You accidentally piss in the back of the seat.
But no, because there was no like liquid coming out of it, was it?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So okay.
No,
all right. I was making sure because I didn't know if that's.
Imagine it would have caught on fire the whole thing.
Yeah, but there was explosions. No.
No, I remember.
It was only explosions because of the pulling of it. It connected to the other ships, and so they were hitting each other.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they were hitting. The other ships were knocking up against each other. That's true.
So they get
the
hyperspace. They're flying, and they're like, "Where are you gonna go? Where are we going?" Oh yeah! Before he hit the hyperspace, he's like, "I have a friend that has a moon that we can go over there." An old friend. So that's where they're heading. They're hyperspacing. He puts the coordinates into this moon, and as they're going, they're chilling. He seems to be like exploring the ship. He finds like this sword thing, which is pretty cool. He puts it on him. he tries to measure up some boots on his feet. He's like, they don't fit. So he drops them. And that's when SM-33 walks up to him, and he's like, so are these kids really from At? He's like, I'll tell you what I do know. They're from somewhere. And that's pretty much fucking it. And he's like, basically sizes him up and checks him. And he's like, I'm watching you, essentially. You know? He makes Jod feel like...
Which SM-33, voiced by the great Nick Frost. Who, if you guys don't know, he's done films like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, stuff like that. Fucking hilarious actor. He's good. I'm a huge fan of his.
Yeah.
Him and... What's his friend Sean Pegg? No, Simon Pegg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So after that happens, they go back to like the kitchen. Jesus Christ! They go back to the kitchen area.
Just lay down, and take a nap.
I know, right? Actually, no. The kitchen area happens first. So Jod makes like some stew situation and like some like goo nest. It's blue stew. It's gross.
Yeah.
And it looks nasty. And he eats. And then he's like, here, George, clean this up. The George just looks at the fucking plate like,
okay.
And he's like, well, there's plenty for everybody. So all the kids are fucking starving at this point. So they run and they start eating. And then that's when SM-33 kind of checks his ass.
Mm-hmm.
That ends. They're like walking around. They're talking. And then after the kids are done eating, they're like playing with the Republic credits, and then Jod comes, and they realize that Jod might be after their treasure because they start talking about their parents, and their parents like, well, your parents are analysts, they do this, and what are they analyzing? And then they look at the gold, and they're like, oh shit, the credits, the money, like that's what they're analyzing. And so they hide the credits so that Jod doesn't see them. Jod's like, it's time to go to sleep, and Fern's like, but we're not tired. And then it flips to them all knocked the fuck out. In total kid fashion.
Yeah.
All kids, I'm not tired. As soon as they hit the fucking bed. And then we hear Neil's little trunk, his little snore. Super fucking cute.
It was which I want to know if elephants make that sound when they
I never thought about it. Yeah, I've never seen an elephant.
He was
sleep,
like his It was super cute. Yeah.
Hella cute.
It was so fun. And that's what we mean about, like, it's very kid-friendly and very family-friendly. Like, they're gearing it towards that genre, yeah.
And then KB calls Jod out. And she's like, I ran the numbers. And it's very doubtful that you're a Jedi. And he's like, you don't trust me, do you? Like,
yeah. And then here's where he said it. I never said I was, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No. That was later. That was later.
It's later, yeah.
Because they had this conversation still on the ship.
Yeah,
right.
And then he's like, you should trust in your feelings.
Trust in your gut. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, because that's when Kim says that. What did he say? Trust your gut, trust your mind, or something.
Yeah, because he goes, don't rely on numbers, or numbers can't. Tell you everything or something like that. Yeah.
I think that's also part of, because she's part droid because of that visor thing that she has.
She is not part droid.
Well, yeah, but it's still a.
That's not that. What?
Those are implants that she has. She has 2 implants.
Oh, that is connected to her.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, because it comes up. I thought it was completely off of her.
No.
You're right. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like maybe that's why he does. That's why he doesn't trust droids, because something about droids' numbers weren't. Maybe he was let down by a droid. You know what I mean? So whatever. So they land on that moon that belongs to his friend. They land far away, and it's obviously because he's
from where they're going. Yeah,
right. And he's trying to hide the ship. And the kids are like, "Why'd you park so far?" He's like, "You need exercise."
Yeah, for real. I was like, fuck that, dude. We got a spaceship, dude. You gotta land us right over there. Yeah.
But it's because he doesn't want to be known. Then Kim seems, at this point it just says woman, but we don't know her name is Kim yet, calls for help and calls these X-Wings to come help. Because he's like, it's definitely Crimson Jack, and he has a bunch of kids. Like, they need help. So she, like, snitches. And then she calls him Crimson Jack.
Yeah.
So he has Captain Silvo, Crimson Jack, and Jod Nawood. Those are all the names he's gone by so far.
Which, this is an owl person.
Well, we don't know that until they get inside, but yes.
Yeah, it's a cat
Oh, it's an owl cat. Interesting.
What's cute though? It's cute as fuck.
Oh wait, I thought we saw. No, you're right. We only
No, because
hear
the little thing comes through.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the little eyeball machine
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Okay.
So she's like, she starts asking questions, and he doesn't want the kids to say Ed Atten. And they're like, she's like, where are you guys from? And he cuts in, and that's when Fern's like, Ed Atten. She's like, Ed Atten. And then she flies, finds that little like memorabilia like scroll thingy that shows the 9 different systems that were Ed Atten used to be.
Yeah.
But
Oh my god. I'm about to smack the shit out of you so you wake up.
I don't know what my deal is. And I went to sleep at a decent hour too. But anyways, so she's like, your planet.
Just so you guys know,
hidden.
it's noon right now. Like
Anyways.
it's not early or late. I don't know what.
I was up early. I worked in the morning. I took care of stuff. Like I was.
You've been up for hours.
I've been in a good. I don't know why I'm tired. Why I'm yawning.
Take a shot every time he yawns.
Do it. Light him up. Give me the Tito's.
I'll die. Okay, go ahead.
People watching.
Yeah, it'd be funny episode for you guys.
Yeah.
Which it'd be like I'll be like this.
You gotta let your Corella Deville hair go.
I'm with you.
Oh my God!
That's
Imagine.
how I'll be. Yeah.
Oh man, I don't think. Well, I've seen. I've seen you.
Just slouched in my chair
right?
and shit. That'd be funny. Yeah, you see me gone. But go ahead. All right.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was your fault. Go ahead.
So, she's like, she kind of starts explaining a little bit more of the lore of the myth of Ed Atten, how it's hidden from everyone, and she doesn't really admit why, but I think she does know why it's being hidden.
You think she knows the actual reason? That's interesting.
I think so.
Well, yeah, but that's true. Yeah.
So she starts asking these questions to pinpoint where it's at, but she's asking very vague questions, and she seems like a very intelligent person. She could have asked more specific questions to find it faster, but I think, as we know, she's stalling for the X-Wing to show up. And then I think at this point, which is kind of cool, they narrow it down to 10,000 worlds because like the gases and
and in the vast galaxies or in space, that's pretty good.
That's pretty decent. Yeah. And even so, Fern's like, oh my God, we're never gonna fucking know. And KB's like, well, she eliminated 99.99 of the other planets
of the space.
Yeah, so 10,000 in the, like, if you put in perspective, that's not that many worlds compared to the infinite amount.
That
of
I would imagine that's like finding.
Like a handful.
Right.
Well, no,
exactly.
I would imagine it's like looking at the whole world and like all the countries and then narrowing it down to cities in a state. It's like it's somewhere in here. Like that's what I would. That's how I was thinking about it. Okay.
And then Jod catches on that Kim.
Because he's looking at her like weird. He's like, while she's talking the whole time, he's like looking at her. He's like, what? And then he sees a little like walkie situation next to her, and he just turns up the volume. And then he hears the people saying like, we're on our way, blah blah blah. And then that's when he's like, you fucking called for backup or for help, yeah.
So he steals the coordinate chip that she's using to record all of it, shoots it so that she can't get any of the data from it. He's the only one with the information. Then they take off, and that's when Kim and KB have a conversation, and she's like, you can't trust him. If you ever need somebody to talk to, you can always call me. But listen to your mind. Don't trust your gut, because that's what he told you, right? So, I think that's why KB has that conversation with them while they're on the ramp to get inside, because KB's like, no, you're gonna work for us. You don't work with us. You work for us. Yeah, that's the deal. Yeah. And that's also when he admits he's not a Jedi. He's like, oh well, I never really said I was a Jedi. Yeah. But yeah, I think the way it ends, and they pull together like a team. Jod, KB speaks some logic. She's like, we're just kids. We kind of fucking need this guy. Yeah. We really don't have a choice, but we can dictate how things are gonna go. Yeah. So it's kind of cool. Like they're trying to escape, and you see the 2 X-Wings fly in, and which is cool to see X-Wings again. It's been a while. Bless you.
Thank you.
And then Jod, he makes Neil the pilot. He puts KB as like the one hitting all the buttons behind. Navigator, right? And then he puts Fern and Wim on the guns, on the turrets, which is exactly like the Galaxy Edge game ride that I told you about. Dude, it was so much fun. So it gave me flashbacks to when I went to Florida watching this part.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, so that was cool, and then they fucking...
That was a cool scene, them just firing on, and then, like, in Just Like Kids, Wim, like, they shoot it, and Wim's like, he goes, oh, I got him. She goes, that was my blaster. Like, she's like, that was my bullet, basically. That was funny.
That's just like Fortnite. I got him. No, I got him.
Yeah. And then you see, like, their ship gets hit. With like but then like it's like an electrical thing that happens. They don't get like hit. And then Neo has to grab like the controls and start flying. And the whole time, KB's like, oh, we're almost there. Then I think Ja was like, now, you're like, are we there yet? And then she's like, now. And then they hit the fucking hyperspeed. Yeah, and they get out of there. And then that was the episode.
Agreed. I thought it was dope. Well, no, and then it switches to the X-Fighters asking Kim, like...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because she's like, why didn't you take them down? He's like, I didn't want to hurt them because there's kids on board.
Yeah.
So they were looking out to not kill the kids. They were shooting the stun, not the kill.
That's probably why that blue...
No.
That happened at the end of 3.
Yeah, at the end of 3. I didn't watch number 4.
Number 4 doesn't have the owl. With the owl part?
No, the owl part, because then she lands on the X-Wing, and she goes, she's like, man, he's like, why didn't you stop them? He's like, the kids were on board, and I don't want to hurt them. And she's like, do you any idea where they're going? She's like, and if I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
Yeah.
And she looks out at the space, essentially, and then it cuts out to episode.
Yeah.
The episode ends. Yep, and that's where it picks up. When that's in the beginning of 4, they do a recap. They show that part.
That may have been what you're watching.
But yeah, that's how 3 ends.
Yeah, so that was 3. So episode see. So episode 4, get out. No. So episode 4, can't say I remember no at-in. Our heroes face a surprise in a familiar setting. So the crew arrives at what they believe is at-in. We pick up basically where they left off, where the episode left off. So they come out of hyperspace and they get to a planet and they're like, it's at. So then they go in, they land. But then the ship like goes to automatically autopilot to land. And then they have to take control of it. Or SM-33 is like, he takes control of it and he lands. But when they land, they quickly notice that it isn't their home. They're not at.
Yeah, what was weird is like, it seemed that if like he takes control of it, SM-33. But it's almost as if it was like that automatic grab where like they pull the ships and they pull the ship down.
Oh, okay. Like a tractor beam?
Right. Right. That's kind of how I took it. So who pulled them down?
It was the ship. It was the ship. Like, remember when they first got in the ship? When it's powered up, it got ready to lift off and it got out. And then once it got out, it stopped the autopilot. So this ship, I'm thinking, has a feature on it to where when it
landing and
when it hits atmosphere, it auto lands, autopilot lands, and when it powers up, it auto gets out, auto lift offs.
I didn't get that, but now that you say it that way, I understand.
That's what I'm getting from it. So then, they notice that it's not at end, and this place looks demolished. Everything's like old,
super war ridden,
yeah. It just looks like a war zone, but like years past the war zone.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up there.
Yeah,
but it looks super similar to Ad.
It does.
Like,
it looks
almost
a lot
identical, just like a
mirror world almost. Yeah. So then the kids go exploring, and Fern tells SM-33, she's like, "Keep Jad on the ship," and then SM-33 is like, "Initiating babysitting protocol." He's like, "Come on, baby, get on the ship. Let's go. Come on." And Jad's like. And he walks off the ship. It was funny. So then Jad starts searching through the ship, through things, I think the kids' things.
Yeah.
And then he finds Wim's sock.
Yeah. And full of Republic coins.
Yeah, he takes it out and then
credits,
just a bunch of credits. Yeah, a bunch of credits. And then SM-33 finds him doing that and then just like chokes him and holds him up against the wall. He's like, thief. He goes, and Jad's like, no, it's me. And then SM-33 is like, he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Akron plays tricks on my memory circuits. It's a dangerous place." And then John's like, "Wait." He's like, "Akron?" He's like, "This isn't Atten." And he's like, and then that's where he goes, "Atten can't say I remember no place Atten, or can't say I remember no Atten." And then then we find out what planet we're actually on, which is, I wonder what's with the designation at and then something. I wonder what that is about.
I'm pretty sure because there's 9 of them. I'm sure all of them are at Atten, at Akron.
Well, no, they are, but I'm wondering what's up with that at thing.
I'm not sure.
I wonder if we get an explanation on that. So then the kids, meanwhile, they run into 2 other kids from the planet, or they're masked and stuff like that, and they ask them, the first thing they ask them, "What flag do you fly?"
Yeah.
And then they're like, "What?" They're like, we're just, I forget what they say, but they're like, "We don't have a flag," or whatever. Yeah. And then they're like, "Who?" She goes, "Well, who are you?" And then the kids are like, "Who are you?" And they're like, "We're Troik." And then they're like, "They're what?" And they're like, what did they say? Yeah. He's like, "Troik." The girl's like, "Troik."
This whole like scene gave me like Endgame. No, not Endgame.
Who is Gamora?
Infinity War.
What is Gamora?
Is it Infinity War?
Infinity War.
Not who is Gamora. Well, it gives me the whole like. He's like, "What master do you serve?" He's like, "What am I supposed to say? Jesus?"
Yeah. That is what is Gamora's part. Right.
But the Jesus part in particular.
What flag
do you?
Yeah, who are you? Yeah, for sure.
What supposed to say Jesus?
What am I supposed to say? America?
Exactly.
Yeah. So then the kids see an enemy patrol closing in. So they like dive into an abandoned trolley type situation. And then Hannah, who's the little leader, she says that, well, she uses like this little mirror thing to check on the passing by, and she sees these Iapis, which are like these weird like camel-looking situations.
Yeah, they're on Tatooine also.
Yeah, it's what they used to get around on Tatooine, right? So
and they pull like sleds, and shit like that.
So I guess they're like horses in a way. They use them like that anyway. So then she sees them and she's like, okay. So then she tells them she needs to slip away, and then she does this unnecessary like slide down the trolley. She's like, and then stands up, and then she's like, all right. She goes, I can take you somewhere safe, and then they leave. And the whole time I'm just like, that was so unnecessary.
So unnecessary, bro.
But it
so
was funny.
The fucking flip at the end.
That's what I'm gonna get. Oh, well, that makes more sense because she's doing it because she likes to do that kind of shit. That I get. She's like, okay, I'm doing a little flip here, cool. But not just fucking total slide out of nowhere. Yeah. So then Hannah takes them to their hideout where they meet her dad, who's like the leader of her people.
Right.
And her dad asks them, why are they there? And they say that they're looking for their home. And he says he doesn't concern himself with off-worlders unless it's trading hides or ammunition.
Right.
And then Hannah says, what about the Fallen Sanctum? She goes, it might have info about their home planet.
Right.
And then he's like, hey, no. And then she's like, well, friend's like, well, what's that? And then she tells him, she's like, it's a tower, blah, blah, blah. And then he tells them that he'll train them, that the kids will train with his people and see if they're worthy of going to the Fallen Sanctum. So then while training, the kids are showing how inexperienced they are.
Right.
They're like running into each other and, cutting each other off. And then Hannah's like, she tells Neil, she goes, they are hopeless. And Neil's like, yeah, we are. And then Hannah then shows Neil around the compound and talks about like her plans for the future. And, when my dad dies, I'm going to take over. And
this was very much a Neil episode. Like it was to show that he's not this little chicken shit.
Yeah, it was focused around him a lot more this episode for sure. Yeah, it was highlighting him. It was definitely highlighting him for sure. So then they're going to get food. She's like, you got to eat. And then they get food. And then Neil sees 2 kids sitting down and he asks if they're hungry. And he gives them his food. And I'm like, this really shows his heart and like just how kind he is. And like the type of kid that he is. Like he always thinks about others before him.
Yes.
Which is really sweet. So Hannah shows Neil a giant ass gun that they use to like protect the compound. And then Neil's like, this isn't fair. That they shouldn't be fighting a war. And then he just starts just telling her about his planet and what's going on there and stuff like that. So this is really like you can see a bond forming.
Yeah.
And you can see them connecting in like a really sweet way. So then after the kids training, Hannah's dad tells them, I never got his name. Do you know what his name is?
I'll look. Okay. I'll see if I can find it.
So Hannah's dad tells the kids, he will lead that the kids will lead them into battle.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, Fernand's like, no thanks. And then he's like, I wasn't asking. And then, so then they're walking, and then the entire like army or group, they stop, and the dad tells the kids, go scout ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So then they're fucking terrified, and they go start walking in the middle of the road, and then Neil's just stopped, and he's like, fuck, he's terrified. And then Hannah joins him, and she says, sometimes it's easier with a friend. So then they all start walking, and then they hear a noise, and then that noise, they all fucking point their guns. They're like aiming. They're, which is cool to see. And then out of the fog, we see Jod walking up.
With SM-33 behind him.
Yeah, and then all the kids are like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
And then
we see all of those animals.
Well, no, and then he goes, are you the Troiks? And then he's like, I think these belong to you. And then he calls them, and they all, stampede toward them. Or
I can't seem to find this guy's name.
Okay. I don't think, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they actually gave him a name. Because she just said, this is my dad. So, anyway. So, Jod brings, like they said, he brings the Troiks back their Iapis, and then he basically the guy's like, well, we're indebted to you. What would you like? And he goes, I'll take those 4. He goes, I need them. And then Jod describes what happened to him in SM-33 and that he traded some credits for the Iapis.
General Strix.
Oh,
I found it,
Strix, okay. So, all right, thank you. But before that, Hannah's like, Father, they've proven their worthiness
or their bravery.
They're proving they're worthy, I think. And then
I think you're right.
And then he takes her, and then he's like, all right. So then she's like, I will show you to the Fallen Sanctum. So on the way is when Jod tells what happened at SM-33. That he gave the credits for them, and then he's like, well, yeah, this is save your lives, like, back off. So then they get to the Fallen Sanctum, and then here's where we have a really nice moment between Hannah and Neil.
Yeah.
Hannah's like, this is as far as I go. And Neil, then he's like, well, come with us. He goes, there's plenty of room. And he goes, there's a lot of, you'll like my planet, and my planet is peaceful. And this is nice, trying to convince her to go. And she declined, and she's like, no, I have to stay. I have to go aid my father. And then she's like, maybe in the future, she'll remember his ways. And she's like, because her world can use some kindness.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really nice. And then Neil's like, he goes, well, I don't know what to say. And then she's like, well, for the first time, don't say anything. He goes, well, for once, don't say anything. And she walks up to him, and she gives him a kiss on the cheek. And
no, it's in the trunk.
No, it was right here. What? Like, it was, his trunk is here, and then it was here.
Maybe it's in the cheek then.
Yeah. Okay. That's, I don't know if that's where he would. All right, tell me this: is his mouth underneath his trunk? I would imagine that's how he's talking, right?
Yeah, his trunk is his nose.
Right. So his mouth is under. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so yeah, because I would imagine you wouldn't kiss her. She wouldn't kiss his trunk when they kiss. It'd be the.
I don't know. Maybe she's sending messages.
Oh, hey, these are kids, sir. What is wrong with you?
She's in a war-ridden city.
She's advanced her age. What you're saying? Still kids, dude. So then they go up to the sanctum after. Oh, but it was really cute how like he's like all love struck. You know, it's like you see like wind blowing, and, like, and then that's when this girl does a little giddy fucking flip, and maybe she was just super excited from the kiss.
You think so? Oh my god!
Or she's just trying to show off her nail, like look what I can do. And then, So yeah, so then they go up to the sanctum. They like rig up the elevator to close, and they go all the way up.
Well, Jod seems to be pretty handy with like technology.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine him being a pirate.
Oh, true.
You know, so then they go up there and they see a lot of pillars, and then they start noticing that it says at different planets, like at whatever.
And it has the coordinates.
Whatever I say at, so I feel like I'm about to say somebody's Instagram handle.
Oh,
Like at, Joy Roberts at whatever.
Right.
But so they start seeing it, and then they're all looking for at.
Right. So all of them show the coordinates.
Yes. So they show the planet name and then the coordinates, and then Neo's like, I found it. So he finds at and he goes over, and then they look, and the coordinates are like slashed off, like completely missing, 100%. And then SM33 is like, I've been here before. He goes, with my last captain. And then Fern has this like breakdown because she realizes she's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
She's like, I almost got us killed, And then Wim is trying to like ease her mind. So, we would have gotten, you got us a lot farther than I would have.
Right.
She's like, you should have been captain. And he's like, you got us a lot farther than I would have. Totally. I don't think anybody's debating that. So then she's like, in this conversation with Wim, she realizes something. So she runs back to SM33 and she's like, she tells him, she goes, droids do what they're told. So she's like, SM33, she goes, I'm your captain. Run memory override. Which I'm like, what the fuck is the point of deleting something when all you have to do is say memory override? It's the equivalent to the recycle bin on fucking computers.
Isn't it almost the same thing what they did to CP3O?
C3PO? No, that's a full memory like reset, like that they were gonna reboot him. This is just recovering a deleted file, which is it's the equivalent of deleting something on the computer and it goes into the recycle bin, and you say memory override is just you going in the recycle bin and put restore. Yeah. That's a 33 empty recycle bin. But yeah, so I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's so dumb. I'm like, you could just memory override everything. But yeah, so then SM33 says, he goes, I remember, and he goes, and that his last captain, he goes, I remember my last captain ordered me to delete everything about and he goes, he also killed everyone that knew about it. And then he's like, and he told me that if anyone came looking for it, to rip them apart or to tear them apart, he goes, limb from limb. And then he starts going after the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then Neil, his little act of bravery, he throws like rocks or rubble or something.
Yeah.
He throws something at SM33. SM33 turns and he goes after him. And then we see Jod run, dive, and just turn off the off switch. Just like, he's like, boom, and then he falls. And then he's like, always go for the off switch. And then, but he turns off and falls right over Wim. And then Wim's like, ah. And then the kids all run to Wim. And then they're like, are you okay? Oh my God, they were so brave. That was so brave. He goes, yeah, that was so. Passes the fuck out. It's so funny. It was so cute. They're like, oh, he fainted. And then that was the episode. It was so cute, dude. Wim was the star of this episode for sure. It was so cute, so good. But we're starting to get answers, man. Slowly but surely, we're starting to see some kind of answers.
So who was his previous captain? Who was
that? Is the $1 million question. I think no.
That'd be crazy.
That's a M. Night Shyamalan twist.
He was acting the way he was.
He's an analyst. He don't know what to do.
Maybe that's why he's so sus and quiet. Maybe he knows who that ship belongs to.
Yeah.
Maybe that I could follow, but maybe he's an analyst. He works for that planet. No, but hear me out.
He was so important.
Hear me out.
He did get some promotion.
Hear me out, though. I think the captain is the supervisor of that planet. Think about that. You want this place hidden, and then you go to the planet, and you're the main one keeping it hidden. Because I don't think it's Fern's mom. That wouldn't track.
No, I don't think so either.
I think it's the supervisor of this planet, and I'm doubling down on that. I think that's who it is. I think the last captain is the supervisor of Atten. And I'm gonna stand
and
on
probably
that
he wasn't the original
coordinator.
Okay.
So whatever that means, and yeah.
So maybe he found out because he works with the system. So maybe he like sees all the info.
He knows something. He knows more than he should.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he would know about all the goings-ons
shit.
of the planet for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll buy that he knew about that ship. But he did seem really surprised to see it, or maybe he was just surprised to see Wim on it.
Yeah. Well, maybe the
know.
supervisor isn't the supervisor we think it is. Like the original pirate, the captain that made SM-33, gave him that order, took the supervisor's position. You get what I'm saying? So
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that was always the supervisor. I'm just saying that that is the current supervisor of Atten. Is what my theory is.
And that's why the other ones are all destroyed.
Mm-hmm. And all trace of it is destroyed. I mean, this guy really did their homework, like on hiding this place and then keeping it hidden. But yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Be on that theory. But let us know your guys' thoughts on this show. We are liking it a lot. This is a surprise show from Star Wars. We didn't really hear too much about this show coming.
Well,
right
I think there was some news about it, but we were just too caught up in the
acolytes dealings,
right?
And like
and just again, I don't want to bash it because it wasn't a bad show.
It wasn't.
On its own, it's a good show. Tied into the bigger lure, that's where they fuck up certain things.
If you don't know anything about Star Wars,
you'll enjoy
this. This is probably a really good show for you to watch. Star Wars nerds, motherfuckers that think they're actual Jedi, they're pissed, dude.
They know everything about Star Wars.
They were going hard on the internet, just like fuck that show. But like our buddy Addy from Film Addicts, he goes, I think every franchise needs a Secret Invasion. So this is just Star Wars' Secret Invasion is the Acolyte, but yeah.
No, Secret Invasion was bad. I enjoyed Acolyte.
Correct, but on its own, Secret Invasion wasn't horrible. Like the show in itself, I thought was a decent show. Tying it into Marvel and the MCU,
okay, that's where the big
bad.
Was.
Yeah, that's where they missed. Like I said, they missed the same ways. Maybe not the same ways, but they fucked up shit that fans hold dear, like the Rhodey situation and all that stuff. So like I think that's where they fell apart. Like they tried to make it that spy thriller, and it fell short.
Yeah.
But anyway, let us know what you guys are liking about the show, or if you dislike it. We want to hear from you all. Let them know what we got going on for the rest of the year. What we got?
Yeah, so I'm really excited for this New Year's Eve special. I'm kind of curating.
Yes.
We're going to do a Craven review. Not Raven Simone.
That's all right.
God damn it.
Craven.
And I wish I had Raven Simone's powers to see the future, because I would have not gone to see Craven. All right,
you would have seen it and be like, all right,
nope,
not getting those tickets.
Ain't doing that, guys. But I committed to covering it. You're gonna watch it tonight.
It's content, man. I mean,
it is
we gotta
content.
give the people what is out
some
there.
Some shitty content, but it is content.
Yeah, I feel like we would be doing a disservice as a podcast to only cover shit we like. You know what I'm saying? Like we got if it's about what the fuck we talk about, we got to cover it, whether we like it or not. We're not about bashing a project, but we will say what we don't like. And we will give
bash this project.
We will give our validation as to why we don't like something. All right, I'll say I won't bash a project.
This one I will.
That's
but no, either way.
It should be fun.
And we'll continue to cover Skeleton Crew. We're going to do the mid-season and the finale with our boys.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun to have the kiddos
fun.
on. And then wrapping up the year, starting tomorrow is...
well, maybe not tomorrow for them, but yeah.
Well, right. Well, the releasing of tomorrow, the 22nd, it would be all the way through the 29th of What If, every episode.
So this is interesting. They're dropping an episode every day.
Mm-hmm. This is not the first time they've done
kind of like a 12 Days of Christmas style.
Yeah. They did this before last year.
Is that how they did it?
In order, yeah. Every day.
Oh, that's right. They did do that.
So that's the first time they've done that. Which I'm excited for it, though. You know, the name. There's going to be some cool episodes, cool series. I think we're going to do, 2 full episodes?
Yeah, we're not going to give you guys, 10 episodes or whatever it is of What If. No. That's crazy.
No, we'll cover half the series and the other half. Yeah,
seriously.
For real.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm excited to wrap up the year. And we got a bunch of projects coming 2025. So we are going to be pretty busy.
Yeah. And we are excited. Let us know what projects you guys are looking forward to next year, or what projects that we haven't mentioned that you guys want us to cover. We are totally down for doing that. We would like to get you guys more involved for sure. But yeah, so next episode 5 and 6 we will be covering of Skeleton Crew. So make sure you guys are caught up and keep up with that. But Kike, even if you can't remember, I am with you.
To the end of the line.
Thanks.
If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Also, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all our new episodes and more.
Ha ha ha!